Hello, highly esteemed viewers. Welcome to our mathematics tutorial for today. In today's tutorial, we are going to solve this quadratic exponential equation. We are asked to find the real values of x which will satisfy this quadratic exponential equation. That is, which will make the left-hand side of this equation equal to 1. Now we're going to find out the values of x that will make this left-hand side equation to be equal to 1, as I have said. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. Remember to also press the bell icon so that you can be notified whenever I upload my daily Maths Olympiad solution question. Thank you. Now, to solve this question, we have to look at conditions that will make the left-hand side of this equation have become equal to 1. What are some of those three conditions? We are going to analyze three conditions that will make the left-hand side of this equation equal to 1. Now, what are those conditions? Now, let's look at the first condition. We're going to analyze the first conditions. We'll look at some conditions that will make the left-hand side of these equations equal to 1. Now, let's look at condition 1. In condition 1, the left-hand side of this equation can be equal to 1 if the power x squared plus 4x minus 60 is equal to 0. Remember, anything raised to power 0 is equal to 1. That is condition 1. Now in condition 2, the left-hand side of this equation can be equal to 0 if x squared minus 5x plus 5 is equal to 1. Under this condition, the left-hand side of this equation will be equal to 1. Now in condition 3, the left-hand side can only be equal to 1 if x squared minus 5x plus 5 is equal to minus 1. But this also is only possible if and only if x squared plus 4x minus 60 is equal to even integers. Now, it must not be odd integers, it must be even integers like 2, minus 2, minus 4, and etc. So only under this condition will the left-hand side of this equation become equal to 1. Now we're going to analyze these equations in order to find a value for x. Now, when we analyze all these conditions and simplify all these conditions, we are going to come up with a value for x that will satisfy this quadratic exponential equation. Now, let's look at the first condition. In the first condition, condition 1, we were told that x squared plus 4x minus 60 is equal to 0. Now, under this condition, we are going to simplify. If we simplify this quadratic equation, we're going to find two values in which when we multiply the two values, we'll get minus 60. And when we add such two values, we'll get plus 4. The two values are plus 10 and minus 6. Now, if we simplify, we're going to have x plus 10, solving the quadratic equation, x minus 6, and this will be equal to 0. So from this equation, we can see that x plus 10 is equal to 0, or x minus 6 is equal to 0. From here, we'll see that x is equal to minus 10 and x is equal to 6. So the two values from this equation are x will be equal to minus 10 or 6. These two values satisfy that quadratic equation. Now, only under these two values, that x is equal to minus 10 or 6, that the left-hand side will be equal to 1. The right-hand side, the left-hand side will be equal to 1. Now, let's look at condition 2. Condition 2, we have x squared minus 5x plus 5 equal to 1. In condition 2, we have x squared minus 5x plus 5 equal to 1 as the only condition in which the left-hand side can be equal to 1. Now, let's simplify that. To simplify that, we'll simply subtract 1 from both sides. If we subtract 1 from both sides, we're going to have x squared minus 5x plus 4. That will be equal to 0. So we'll find two values such that when we multiply such two values, we're going to get plus 4. And when we add such two values, we'll get minus 5. And those two values will be plus 4 and minus 1. So to simplify this quadratic equation, we'll have x minus 4 multiplied by x minus 1. These two will be equal to 0. So x minus 4 will be equal to 0 and x minus 1 will be equal to 0. So if we find two values for x over here, we'll find out that our x is equal to 4 or our x is equal to 1. So our values for x that can make the left-hand side of this equation to become 1 is 4 or 1. So if we insert x to be equal to 4 or 1 in the above equation, quadratic exponential equation, we will make the left-hand side to equal the right-hand side, which is equal to 1. Now let's look at the third and final condition. The third and final condition says we should have our x minus 5x plus 5 to be equal to minus 1 if and only if the exponent is equal to even integers. Now let's simplify this. If we simplify this as the third part, we are going to see from that third expression that let's look at the third expression. From the third expression, we'll have expression 3. We have x squared minus 5x plus 5 equal to minus 1. So if we add 1 to both sides, we'll have x squared minus 5x plus 5. 5 plus 1, that will give us 6 equal to 0. Now we're going to find two values, 6 that will multiply, that will give us plus 6. And when we add those two values, we get minus 5. What are those two values? We'll have minus 3 and minus 2. So our x minus 3 multiplied by x minus 2 will be equal to 0. So if we simplify this further, we are going to have our x minus 3 to be equal to 0 and our x minus 2 to be equal to 0. So the value of x here will be equal to 3 or 2. Now the third condition have another condition which says it's only possible if and only if the exponent x squared plus 4x minus 60 are even integers. Now let's confirm with that statement. From this expression, we have our x. From this expression, we have our x squared plus 4x minus 60 equal to 0. Now let's look at the first condition. If x is equal to 3, will that expression, with the solution, this expression will it give us an even integer? Now let's substitute the value of x into that expression. We'll have 3 squared plus 4 multiplied by 3 minus 60 equal to 0. This will give us 9 plus 12 minus 60 equal to 0. Now, if we add these two values, we are going to have 21. 21 minus 60 will give us what? That will give us negative 39. So you see, negative 39 is not an even number. So since negative 39 is not an even number, we are going to neglect the value of x that gave us that value, which is x equal to 3. Now let's try the value for x equal to 2. If x is equal to 2, so we'll have 2 squared plus 4 multiplied by 2. That shows that x equal to 3 is not a solution, minus 60. Will this give us a positive and even integer value? This will give us 4 plus 8. Let's find out. Minus 60. 4 plus 8 will give us 12. So 12 minus 60 will give us a negative 48. So we see negative 48 is an even number. So that tells us that x equal to 2 satisfy that condition and is one of the solutions that satisfy that quadratic exponential equation. So we've gotten all our values for x. And what are the whole values for x? To satisfy that quadratic exponential equation, x must be equal to, remember we'll have the first solutions, which are minus 10 and 6, 4 and 1, and then 2. So we'll have minus 10 and 6, x is equal to 6, x is equal to 4, x is equal to 1, and our x is equal to 2. These are the values of x that satisfy that quadratic exponential equation. Now I want us to try something. Let's try using these two to see if actually what we did is actually correct. Let's check from that equation. Now, if we check, remember our initial equation, we are given that x squared minus 5x plus 5 all to the power of x squared plus 4x minus 60 should be equal to what? 1. Now let's try this with the value of 2, value of x to be equal to 2. With our value of x to be equal to 2, let's substitute the value of x to be equal to 2 in that expression. If we substitute the value of x to be equal to 2, we'll have 2 squared minus 5 times 2, which is 10, plus 5, and then we'll have 2 squared plus 8 minus 60. If we simplify this, we are going to have 4 minus 10 plus 5 all to the power of 4 plus 8 minus 60. Now, this whole value below here will give us -1, -1 to the power of -48. Now, -1 to the power of -48 will be equal to 1 if you point your calculator. So that means the value of x, which is equal to the solution x equal to 2, satisfy that quadratic equation. So that invariably tells us that all the value of x that we have gotten satisfy that quadratic exponential equation. This is all I have for you for today. If you enjoy this, if you do enjoy this video, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, share this video with your friends and colleagues, and remember to subscribe to my channel for more simplified Maths Olympiad solution. Thanks and bye bye for now.